Welcome to Google for Real Estate. I'm Derek Bixler, real estate agent, outdoor adventure sportsman, volunteer firefighter, and Google marketing geek. Let's get into it. Today, we're going to talk about, that thing that I just thought of right before I started. That's pretty exciting. So we'll talk about that, but I won't start with that. So a little thing that I saw, one of our friends, I don't think she's in the room here, but one of our friends do on Facebook, and the results were astounding. I need to dig a little bit, ask her a couple questions, but it looked crazy what happened there. So I definitely want to mention that, and then maybe replicate myself, and others could replicate this, but it was pretty awesome. So I'll share with you what that was. We'll do some Ask Me Anything if anybody has any issues, or ask me anything about Google Business Profile or local services ads or other Google stuff or random digital marketing stuff. And then I've got a couple, there's not really any news going on, no new features, no real big news with Google Business Profile. Still, I would caution against changing a lot of things like your categories or your services shouldn't matter too much. Categories seems to be one of the things that used to never trigger a re-verification or suspension or anything, but now seems to sometimes. So I would watch with the category, and I definitely wouldn't change it more than once. Like, don't change your categories and then change them again in 2 days or even a week or a month or whatever. So just be cautious about changing anything in the edit profile tab. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I'm trying to optimize my thing, and I can't sit here and wait till Google figures out their algorithm or whatever. So you try to be cautious and do what you can, but that is the name. Definitely doesn't always, if you're changing it, like changing brokerages and that part of it changes, that'll probably trigger a re-verification, because that's a different business almost. If you're changing, like I just changed a vertical line to a dash, because you can't do dashes on local service, or you can't do vertical lines on local services ads. But if you're just changing something minimal like that, and it's like, this is the same business, it's just a clerical or visual change or whatever, then it should be fine. But just a little bit more caution when changing anything. And if you do change stuff, like, again, you got to do what you got to do. And if you got to re-verify, then so be it. That's kind of my world. So just be ready, and re-verification isn't that bad if you're ready for it. And if you don't change things crazily, it shouldn't happen anyway, but just be a little bit more cautious, because everything is still a little bit heightened, and people talking about unverifications, re-verifications being up, and suspensions being up, and the help channels being flooded, which makes a backlog for Google. So all those people getting their stuff back up and running gets delayed. However, I haven't experienced that. I've done multiple verifications, and all of them one was within 24 hours. So I think if stuff is done correctly, especially the verifications, I think a computer, I might be wrong, but I think a computer watches that one. So that might work quicker. Suspensions, I'm pretty sure that's a human that looks at those. For now, anyway. So that's probably the only news with Google Business Profiles, to keep being a little bit cautious about changing major things. What else we got here? A couple of my wins. I got a buyer agent local services ads lead last week. He's working on a pre-approval with a lender, and then I'll probably refer that one, because it's not really where I want to be running around. So that's good. I like referrals too. No work, get some money in the mail later. That's fantastic too. I'll pay I didn't check the price of that lead, but probably these days they're 70-ish in my area, maybe as low as 40-ish, but all of them are creeping up. The days of $15 leads are long gone, but probably about 70. Even if it was $100 for that lead, even if it was $200 for that lead, and I refer it, get a few $1,000 back or something, that's pretty good. And then I also got an organic call from Google Business Profile for a listing, which, if it was nice, would be twice the median price here. It is beat, and The guy is nuts. It's a single guy. It looks like there was a huge family living there at one time. It's 4 bedrooms, big bedrooms. A lot, almost all of them. I think all of them had their own bathroom. It's a pretty big house, pool, but it was left to go. And I wonder where the family is, and maybe that's why the house is in disarray, because everybody left and he never did anything since then or so. I don't know. And he just got out of bankruptcy, or he's getting out of bankruptcy. And he had it listed with another agent. So a lot of stuff going on there. However, even as long as the price isn't crazy, that could be a good sale. I'll sell a junker all day long if the price is correct and it's going to sell, whatever. And he wants to sell, needs to sell, but he is also, I don't deal good with crazy, because I just don't have the patience for it, and it will then show. So I might end up referring that one also. I was all jazzed about it because it's basically a come list me call, and I Google it and I'm like, oh, snap. That could be pretty decent, especially for a random call out of the blue. And then, I should know better than to get too excited about anything. Those are always the ones when you get there and you're like, oh, like he doesn't even want to clean or like pick up stuff or do anything. Anyhow, all right, but that's a good lead. That's a money lead that will turn into some kind of money most likely. So in the last, I think that was both in the last week, last 7 to 10 days, a buyer lead off of local services ads and a listing lead free from the Google business profile. And the free one came right after a really, really awesome review from an old childhood friend of mine who I referred him to Mark Eitel, for those of you that know who that, a lender, to buy a property in another state, or I forget what the situation was, but he gave me like a really, really like diatribe, awesome review. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it. It does seem like when there's more review activity and things like that, and possibly maybe people are Googling my name from doing that thing that we do in this room, which I didn't do today, but having people Google me so that Google kind of likes me, plus this big awesome review, maybe shoved me up in the rankings a little bit, and then I got this call, or maybe I was ranking exactly the same as I always was, and he just ended up choosing me for some reason, but a win nonetheless. Sometimes you can't figure out exactly why. And then let me see if I want to talk about the big thing that I just added that is probably the most exciting thing to talk about. Podcasting. I was going to talk about podcasting a little bit, like how to start a podcast or take questions about podcasting or something, because I've done a number of them. And tonight's room is about, in Real Estate from the Heart, is about private podcasting, which is a cool idea, about basically a kind of a podcast, video or just audio, sent out just to your list as a private type of thing. And that's a recurring room, so that triggered me, and I've done presentations, and I have like 5 steps to starting your podcast, and I've done that before. So I was gonna pull that out of my butt real quick, but apparently I don't have the slides from it anymore. So and then I was on Facebook trying to find the old video it was like a 3-part video series that I did, and I found the 3rd one, I think, but I need the first one that has the list and all the stuff. But anyway, so maybe a episode coming up on podcasting or something like that. This is interesting. I have a client who has a felony, and we were wondering, local services ads, what is this gonna do? I've never heard any podcasters, any gurus, any videos, anybody ever talking about the background checks on local services ads, or what they're actually looking for, or what would trigger like you're not allowed. This is non-violent, so we're thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know. And I posted in a couple forums and haven't heard anybody say anything. So number one, the question is it going to prevent us from doing local services ads? Then the second part of it is it going to, if it gets rejected, prevent you from ever running local services ads for that business, even if it was somebody else like listed as the owner or whatever. And then the third part of it is, would it somehow trigger some complete rejection from Google, like Gmail, Google Business Profile, regular Google Ads, local search, like all this stuff. And I can't believe that would be the case. However, it's a client, so we're cautious and we're not going to do anything crazy, and I want to research it and stuff. So I've never come across this. I have a DUI from long ago, and I've been having drank for 13 and a half now, I guess, something like that. But and it was a pain getting my real estate license because of that. But and I think it's on my record because for some reason I didn't do ARD or something. I forget. Or maybe I had an underage before that already, so I couldn't do ARD. I forget. Anyhow, I had a record, not a felony, obviously, but I had something. So I've gone through numerous background checks and having to send my records to like the fire station to apply for that, or for coaching soccer or all that stuff, and people being able to see those things that you don't want people to see. But this is probably mainly a computer with Google. But so the question is, what constitutes rejection? Will we get rejected? And then when we if we get rejected, what's going to happen? So I'm in the process of kind of figuring that out. If you have a felony, does it matter what type of felony, or is it just like felony? Nope. Or what's up there? So I'm going to figure that out. And then best practices for video in your photos section. Who was it the other day? I think it was Andy Norton, I think. I'm not looking at my screen. If you are here, if anybody wants to come up, I didn't mod anybody, did I? Here, let me mod a couple of you. And if anybody wants to come up, feel free. Because I forgot that. I think I did like 5 or 6 of you. But Andy was asking about, they were talking about video on the Google Business Profile, and I think he said he was posting there every day, maybe, and then asked me what the best practices for video on the Google Business Profile would be, and I couldn't answer at the time, so I said swing by this room and I would answer it. And it's a good topic for everybody. So for video on the Google Business Profile, 2 places you would put that would be either the updates. When you go to your dashboard, you click Add Update, and then Add Update. And then you can pick your creative, your video, and post it there. That would be similar to kind of a social media post, closest thing akin to a social media post on your Google Business Profile. Really only need to do those once a week is usually what I preach to people. Some people say even once a month is enough. I don't think that's enough for like the conversion factor and the recency for when people are looking at your Google Business Profile. I want to be more recent with stuff than that, because Google calls out very prominently, like this post was this many days ago, this photo was added this many days ago. So I want to be really recent with everything. So you don't need to be crazy about it. It's not TikTok, it's not Instagram, it's not YouTube. There's no feed that everybody's going to 50 times a day that you need to stay in front of people and all that kind of stuff. They're going to see your profile once, twice, maybe 3 times in their entire life. So you just need to have content on there that represents you well, maybe calls out your unique selling propositions or what makes you special. Testimonials are great in there. That's a go-to, very, very, very easy, high converting thing to do in your updates. Just posting, pictures of testimonials. I have a certain way I like to do it, but even posting maybe listing videos, very things that depict real estate really hard or sold properties. That's kind of like a form of social proof. Well, so I didn't catch what kind of videos Andy was sharing on his Google business profile, but there could be some videos in there. Google likes to block videos or reject them for unknown reasons a lot. So, and people don't really, it's not optimized for video yet very much. So I don't agonize on trying to put crazy videos or put all my video content on the Google business profile. I don't know that it really helps right now at this point. Doesn't mean you can't do it, but I definitely probably wouldn't be spending the effort to put like your daily post that you're putting everywhere onto the Google business profile. I don't know that the effort would be worth it. Your time is better spent elsewhere. Won't hurt you, I don't think, unless a lot of things get rejected and you keep posting rejected things. It might then not like you and suspend you or something, but no harm, I guess, in putting more. So in the updates, you could put the videos based on what I just said, and then also in the photos section, you could put videos. In the photos section, there's a pretty strict criteria, and people do have ones longer than 30 seconds, and I've seen ones that don't meet the criteria, and maybe they snuck through, or there was a time when the criteria didn't exist and they were there already. But it's supposed to be, I think, 30 seconds, I think 780 megapixels or higher, and then I forget something about the file size maybe. So there's a little bit of criteria you have to meet. The main one is that 30 seconds. So you can post them to your photos section, but they have to meet all that criteria. They also get rejected a lot. They've been getting better about it, but they used to get rejected a lot. So just be careful with that, and don't be getting a lot of stuff rejected. A lot of words on it. I wouldn't put any in the photos section videos. I would not just put any old video in there. So any old TikTok or your tip of the day or all that daily stuff, I wouldn't. And if it's vertical, it's not, I don't know that I would put any verticals in there. I think widescreen square, optimized to be square, but widescreen, if that makes sense. You make it wide, and then if it is cropped to a square, all the business is still in the square, is how I would do the videos for the photos section. And this could change if they ever change the layout or how it is visualized on your phone when you're looking at somebody's profile or whatever. So you can put videos in the photos section per the criteria. I would have some videos at least in there. My strategy with the photos section as far as video goes is I only want showcase quality videos, quote unquote, in there, or purpose-built ones in there. And you might use some fillers just so you have some videos in there for the time being, but I kind of want purpose-built ones that I want to show to people. Because on mobile, when you go, especially if you went to the Google Maps app and pulled up, let's see what I'm showing, pull up Derek Bixler, and then right at the top, there's my main information, and then you see my photos section. You got my cover photo there, which sometimes Google will replace that cover photo with a video from your photos section. So any video in your photos section is subject to being showcased as your main cover image. Right now, I just updated my cover image not too long ago, so it's using that, but it could potentially change at some point, or it could change to another photo in my photo section if Google's like, we like that one. Or if a lot of people hearted a photo, it might say, all right, we're using that one because people like it. But right now, you would see the one that I put in there, and then the secondary image, there's two small images right next to it, and the top one is a video. And it will always, I'm going to say 100% of the time. I could be off maybe, but I don't think so. If you have a video in your photos section, if Google does not choose it to be the main showcase image, and this is on the Google Maps app specifically, if it does not choose it for your main showcase image, it will put the video as your second or third image, one of those small images right beside the big image. And it auto plays. So as soon as they come to your profile, it's kind of auto playing and in their face already. There's no sound, and they'd have to click on the video and then also click turn on the sound. So there's 2 clicks to see it, and they're really not there to watch videos or tips. They're there. They typed in buyer agent realtor. There's high intent. So there's no reason to really be putting tips or things that they would really want to watch. I suppose there's an argument for conversion. If they had stuff they would like to watch, if they did choose to watch it and it helped them trust you more to call you, that would be good, I guess. And I'm sure if they play the video, turn the sound on, and watch the video through, that's some kind of good brownie point with Google for your Google business profile that might help you in the rankings later or whatever. So those are all good signals. However, I'll still maintain, I think I err on the side of having some more like kind of purpose-built stuff. So the one you would see, or I see on mine right now, is one I built of, it's just a super cut of stuff in Carlisle, like Carlisle Streetscape, the Firehouse, Dickinson College, the Giant Foods big grocery store headquarters, Carlisle Rubber, the blah blah blah, all these, the Carlisle Theater. So it's just a supercut of Carlisle stuff and then some kind of real estate streetscapes and houses type things mixed in there, and it says Carlisle listing services and buyer agency services on top of it. It's 30 seconds long. So, and that's purpose built to be there. And then another one that I had before that one was, and if you scrolled, or if I scroll over in my photos, that one eventually is showcased also. And that is just a slideshow. And this is a good placeholder if you don't have anything else in there. You could just make a slideshow of client photos, and then I put like words on top of each one, each picture. Highly recommend, diligent, awesome, caring, or whatever. So that's a good placeholder if you need something. If you want to dictate which videos are showcased, you would need to delete every single video in your photos section and then add just the ones that you want to be showcased. And then from there on out, only add showcase worthy videos there. So if they do get showcased, they are good. So I think that's it. That's it for video. Does anybody have any questions about video in the photos or video on the Google business profile?
Derek,
I do.
this is Natasha. Oh, sorry. Go
Go
ahead, Nat.
ahead. Go ahead. No, you
Okay.
go.
Okay. No, I just had a question related to the video. Is there something that should not be on the video, like with words or logos or phone numbers? Like, can you have your phone number, or should you just have nothing on the video?
Definitely no phone numbers, websites, emails, anything spammy is the way they look at it. There's a place for it elsewhere, obviously, but yeah, none of that stuff. That's phone stuffing. And you've heard me say before, don't put it in like in your updates and your caption where you write the description, or in your product's description, or anywhere you write text on your Google business profile. Don't put phone numbers or emails or websites or anything, because Google, like, we have a button for that. They can click the button for that. Don't be spammy and put it in your content or whatever. So definitely none of that. Some words and things you can get, but I've seen some crazy stuff that I'm like, I can't believe. I mean, we need to delete it because it's junk anyway, but I can't believe Google allowed it to be on there. So sometimes you can get by with stuff, but I would be minimal about it, and just to be classy and look nice on Google. You don't want to be some TikTok video that's been downloaded and then put on Instagram and then words added and then downloaded a third time. There's 8 different watermarks and it's all grainy and crappy, and it the format's not correct and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, just I would be minimal about it, but a little bit of text or captions would be
Thank
okay,
you.
I think.
Thanks.
Captions actually wouldn't be bad if you were going to do some kind of talking head one, they're not going to hear the sound. The words would be on the screen for them. That would be good. Just a reminder to keep everything within a square. Make it wide, but keep everything within a square. Anything else on that? Mia, was that you that was speaking up? Going
I couldn't
once?
get my mic. No, I couldn't get my mic open. When we do an event, can we put the address on it or where the event is or what it is?
When you do an event,
Right.
yes. I'm trying to pull up. I just did one for somebody, and I had one rejected. I did an open house for somebody, and I had it rejected last time I did it, and have no idea why. But I'm trying to pull it up and see if I changed the address part of it. Not that one. Oh no, that was not an open house. That was some kind of client event. Never mind. Typically, I do put the address in there in the description. My titles for open houses, and I do the same thing kind of with Facebook posts and Facebook events. I want to trigger a click for those with the reticular activator going. So it should say open house in the title, and then usually I'll say the town, because if somebody's searching for a house, they're heightened for houses for sale in a town, and then probably maybe number of baths or number of square feet or some kind of, again, reticular activator. I like the beds because if that's criteria, very strict criteria, people are typing in this area, this number of baths, and their head is looking for that, and they'll want to click and see what it is, and there'll be a picture of it also there. So I would probably put that as the title just for conversion and best practice anyway. And then I think you could put the address. Oh, well, you kind of have to, or you could link out, I guess, and make them click to find out the address. But yeah, I think I'm usually putting an address in there. If it gets rejected, try it without it. That's why I wanted to find that. I just did one for somebody, and I wanted to forget who it was. Haven't done one for myself in a long time. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else, anybody? And I think your mic's still open, Mia.
It is.
If
It
you
is
care.
open. I can't close it. Hold on.
All good. Just didn't want you to head into the bathroom or something with
somebody called.
Now she found the mute button. All right, so where was that? That was felony. We talked about best practices for videos in the photos section or on your Google Business profile in general. Podcasting, going to talk about at some later date. And then the last thing I have here is really, really exciting thing. And I got to pull it up again now. So I went on Facebook this morning and I see this video from Jessica Taylor. Is Jessica in the house? I don't think so. If you are and I'm missing you, come up here so we can give you your flowers for this. This is almost epic, but I need to find out what she started with. So I wake up this morning and I'm not sure when she posted it, but there was a video talking about she got a bad review on her Facebook. People can stink, but not only Fred, blah, 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 blah. I could use, it's not a very long caption, actually. There's a video along with it, but people can stink, but not my friends. I could really use your support. It doesn't cost anything and takes less than a minute. Thank you. Pray hands emoji. Link to my Facebook business page. There's a link to her Facebook business page. And then she talks about how she got a bad rating from somebody and blah, blah, blah. Can you please help to basically bury this? And I then went to her Facebook business page. and I should leave her. I think I already left her a review before, so I can't leave her a review again. But there are now, well, this morning there were 58 reviews, and there are now 62. So she's gotten 4 in the last like 4 hours or whatever, however long I've been awake. So she got 4 reviews on her Facebook business page right there. And I don't know what she started with, but if you scroll down, all these reviews, like just now, 2 hours ago, 2 hours, 2 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, 10 hours, 11 hours, 12 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 hours, 13 hours, 13 hours. I'm still going down, and they're still all new reviews. So I don't, and if it was affecting her ratings so bad that it made her overall rating look bad, then she must not have had much of any. And I think her video maybe said that she hardly had any reviews at all, and she doesn't even think about her Facebook reviews. And then this happened, and she's like, oh my God, I look terrible on Facebook. So yeah, and there's my review. So, and I'm still, no, if I'm at my review, that means I'm back at old ones, but all the way back. Okay, so to 15 hours ago when it started. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 reviews. So if I'm correct, she had 8 reviews on her Facebook business page. She did this post, and she was correct. Her friends do not stink. They are awesome. And she got, what's 62 minus 8 is 54? 54. 54 reviews in the last 15 hours, it looks like. So guess what we all should probably do? Copy that text, go to Jessica Taylor's Facebook page. It's the second post, and I think she might have followed it up, blah, blah, blah. Oh, somebody posted to her page. But it's the second post on her personal Facebook profile. If you go there, and the text is very simple, what I read to you. And obviously, if you don't have a bad review, you can't use the angle of people stink. But my friends don't, but you could change the angle somehow. I think the video was very good and a very good way of doing it. Obviously, she's close with her friends, so her friends like her enough to, when she asks for something, they go and do it. But, I mean, killer. And then she also looks like she had the link in the video, but I don't think links are clickable in Reels, so it must have come, she might have done a story and then made the story into a reel, possibly, is what I'm guessing. But I could be wrong. But anyway, 54 reviews in 15 hours. That's going to be the title for the episode. Mind-boggling, insane. She should probably do the same thing on her Google business profile. Not right away, because that's asking too much, but in 6 months or a year or however long, once this is settled and it doesn't feel like, and people don't remember, she can go at it again. And even if it's not freaking 54, that's crazy. And it's still counting, like it hasn't ended either. And most people are also commenting done. So now she's getting comments also on this post, which then boosts the post again. And the post is linking to Facebook, so Facebook is probably cool with boosting it and putting it out to more people. Just altogether genius, in my opinion, and fantastic. And that bad review ended up getting her, like, really, really helping her out. So that is bonkers, nuts. Kudos, Jessica. And everybody else, go hit her up if you know her, and even if you don't want to support, but if you know her, go hit her up and give her some more reviews, and let's all possibly take her idea and maybe hopefully duplicate it. I recommend people do posts like that, asking for reviews on social media, and I've done it in the past. I think the most I've ever gotten at one time was 14 on a Google business profile, and I think Kristen Rapoli's gotten a bunch, 14 or 11, or is she in here? I don't know. She's gotten a bunch one time, I think, too. And others, I've gotten like 7 at a time, or like 1 and 2. And again, you can't do it all the time, but I do recommend doing it like once a quarter, once every 6 months, once a year, whatever you feel comfortable doing. But I've never seen that kind of a result. And it does help that she's sending them to a Facebook business page, because it's on Facebook. People click it, go right there. They don't have to go off of platform. It's seamless. They can leave the review super easily and then return back over, say done, and all that kind of stuff. So fantastic. Did anybody else see that or give her a review? Anybody? Maybe you're over there checking it out right now. You got
I
like
saw
Good morning.
it, but
I saw
I
it.
didn't watch the whole thing, and I did not, because I didn't watch the whole thing, I did not leave her a review, but I loved the concept. It was awesome.
Good morning. This is Iris. I did see it. I'm tied up with a bunch of other personal things going on at the moment. I did see it. I do want to give her a review. I just didn't get an opportunity to, but I will. But I did see it. That was awesome.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole video either. I'm not a video watcher, and I don't have patience for much of anything. But as a marketer, I was curious, and I wanted to, I got the gist of it real quick, and I was like, I could throw a review real quick. Probably how everybody else was thinking. Clicked the button, and then took me over there and saw that I couldn't leave a review, and then I kind of started scrolling the reviews, and I was like, whoa. No, my first notice was, well, her rating is still 98% recommend, so that one didn't really, so why'd she post this, kind of questioning it. So then I clicked to look at the reviews, and 58 reviews, and I was like, well, that's a lot, and her rating's still high, so it didn't really affect her. Looking at it, and I was like, oh, 2 hours, 1 hour, like what I did here. And I was like, whoa, she got a lot of reviews from that, which blew my mind immediately as a marketer. And then, yeah, so I didn't watch the video either. I just kind of clicked through to see what was up, see if I could throw her some stars real quick, and then, wow, so that's awesome. Any other questions about anything else? Any other topics? I didn't pause for ask me anything, I don't think, but ask me anything, any issues, anything, or questions on anything I've talked about. If not, we'll close her up, and look at that. 44 minutes of having nothing to come in here to talk about. Anything? And I need to write down this title before I forget. I already forget what it was. 54 reviews in 15 hours. And again, I'll remind everybody, if you're in my rooms, you probably hear me say this over the last few months, how we need to spread ourselves off of Google. Google still is the main place where people are searching, and reviews are best gotten, or most of our reviews are best put there. However, Google is watching you on other places, and AIs definitely are looking at other places, and other platforms are looking at other places. So Facebook business page is a big one. Consumers also, it's always in the top 5 of places consumers go to vet businesses. Google brings the reviews over onto your Google business profile. Bing Places uses your Facebook reviews as your reviews on Bing if somebody sees your Bing Places profile. So I've been saying it for a long time, and this just is awesome to go along with what I've been saying. This is a way for us all to boost that Facebook business page, and I'm going to start recommending something to my clients, especially since it's so seamless. I think that's part of why it works. Everybody loves Jessica and they want to help her, and then also it's Facebook to Facebook, super easy to do, and everybody will do it. So that's a killer. All right, if nobody has anything, we will close her out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thanks, Derek.